Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to unpack the incredibly intricate, high-stakes chess game that is Liverpool's summer transfer strategy. Based on recent reports, the situation over at Anfield is rapidly turning into a fascinating study of market dynamics, crazy valuation standoffs, and the massive ripples caused by moves across Europe's top leagues. If you've ever wanted to understand how modern football recruitment actually works at the absolute highest level, well, this is your perfect case study.
Okay, let's just dive right into the massive dilemma in the room. Mohamed Salah left the club at the end of last season. That single departure has created an absolute void on the right wing, a void that Fenway Sports Group desperately needs to fill. And let's be real, you aren't just replacing a player here. You're trying to replace guaranteed goals, unbelievable global marketability, and a foundational piece of the club's recent history. So what does this all mean? The strategic implications for how they approach this summer are absolutely enormous.
Section 1. Replacing a club legend. Right now, there is immense pressure resting squarely on the shoulders of Liverpool's recruitment team following the departure of a true Anfield icon. Every single move they make is going to be heavily scrutinized. Now, to give you a bit of context, Liverpool hasn't been completely inactive. Even with new blood like Victor Munoz already through the door from Osasuna, the primary objective for the owners is still unsolved. Munoz adds excellent depth for sure, but FSG is well aware they need a true marquee forward to lead the line and really strike fear into Premier League defenses. They're hunting for an absolute game changer. Which brings us to Section 2. Plan A, Bradley Barcola. You know, what's really interesting here is how perfectly Barcelona fits the exact profile of a player looking for a new challenge. We're talking about a dynamic winger who just starred for France at the 2026 World Cup, but here is the absolute crucial leverage point. Barcelona has reportedly informed PSG that he has zero intention of signing a new contract. And honestly, even better for FSG, his camp has made it crystal clear that he is open to joining Liverpool. The pieces are seemingly falling right into place for a massive Anfield arrival. In fact, Team Talk journalist Graham Bailey hit the nail on the head. Barcola isn't just an option. He is the undisputed priority. What makes this so wild is that Liverpool had actually done a ton of groundwork on another player entirely, YNWA, but they ruthlessly shifted their focus away from Diamande to zero in strictly on Barcola. It just shows you how fast club strategies can pivot when a generational talent suddenly becomes available. But as we know, in the modern transfer market, identifying your primary target is only half the battle. Section 3. The £145 million standoff. So, the crucial point here is the massive, glaring gap between these two valuations. PSG is demanding a staggering £145 million. That's a number that would make even a billionaire wince, right? They know exactly how valuable Barcola is, and they're heavily leaning into the fact that this is very much a seller's market for elite young forwards. On the flip side, Liverpool wants to get this deal done for well below that asking price. Actually, their internal ceiling is reportedly set beneath the British record £125 million fee they previously paid for Alexander Isak. It's a classic high-stakes negotiation standoff. Basically, who blinks first? And to agitate this whole problem even further, Liverpool simply doesn't have the luxury of time. Arsenal is lingering right behind them, firmly interested in swooping in if Liverpool's negotiations with PSG stall out. If Liverpool tries to play hardball for too long to get that price under $125 million, they literally risk losing their absolute top target to a direct Premier League rival. The clock is ticking. But hey, smart clubs never put all their eggs in one basket. Section 4. Real Madrid's crowded attack. So if the Barcola deal collapses under the weight of that £145 million price tag, Liverpool is totally ready to pivot to Spain, where a fascinating situation is unfolding under Jose Mourinho. Think about this projected front line for Real Madrid for a second. You have Kylian Mbappe down the center. You have Vinicius Jr. on the left wing. And on the right, Madrid is set to bring in Yan Diomande from RB Leipzig. Yep, the very same player Liverpool had previously tracked so heavily. With Diomande arriving to lock down that right flank, it logically proves there simply won't be enough minutes to go around for everyone else in Madrid's squad. The math just doesn't work. This brings us to the core concept of this explainer, the domino effect in European football. When Real Madrid signs a player like Diomande, it doesn't happen in a vacuum. That single action forces a massive reaction elsewhere. It creates a surplus at Madrid, which magically turns into opportunistic, high-quality backup targets for a club like Liverpool. It's like a giant puzzle where one club's luxury problem becomes another club's ultimate solution. Section 5. Plan B, Brahim Díaz. Let's explore exactly who falls out of Madrid's crowded nest and straight onto Liverpool's radar. Brahim Díaz checks a ton of crucial boxes for a team needing an immediate impact.
He's a former Manchester City winger, so he already understands the pace and physicality of the Premier League. He's a seasoned Morocco international, currently under contract at Madrid until the summer of 2027. What makes him such a highly capable, almost brilliant plan B is his versatility. He prefers that vacant right flank Liverpool desperately needs to fill, but he can seamlessly operate as an attacking midfielder or out on the left. Because of Diomandé's arrival, Diaz is likely to struggle for minutes, making him a prime candidate for FSG to exploit.
Furthermore, the domino effect at Madrid is so severe that Diaz isn't even the only option. Sources confirm Liverpool has previously explored the situations of a bunch of Madrid players. We're talking Arda Güler, the young phenom Endrick, and get this, even Vinicius Jr., who just happens to be out of contract next summer. Because Diomandé is arriving, a suitable offer from Liverpool could potentially pry any of these incredible talents away from the Bernabeu. That is an unbelievable safety net for Liverpool to have if the PSG negotiations for Barcola fall through. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final provocative thought to mull over. When replacing a true club legend, what is the actual optimal strategy? Do you just bite the bullet, break your transfer record, and pay the £145 million ransom to secure your absolute perfect fit in Bradley Barcola? Or do you play the smart, opportunistic game, walk away from PSG's demands, and capitalize on the incredible domino effect over at Real Madrid? The decision Liverpool makes will undoubtedly define their season and potentially their entire next era. Thanks for joining me.